Hey everyone, it's Patty from pspapercrafts. Happy Friday. It's a day for another fun fold. I do fun folds on Fridays according to my inspiration calendar. So today we're making a double-decker Z-fold card. Next week we'll make a Joy Fun Fold card. So I have this calendar. If you subscribe to my email list, I'll send it to you each month for free. And I do some of the things on the calendar. There's color combo, sketches, fun folds, and then there's some things that you can just get ideas for. So let's get started with this card. I made one from the Irresistible paper. This is so pretty. This is retiring. Our retirement list is out, and some of the products are marked down. I'm not sure if this one is, but this is great. There's some really just beautiful patterns in here, and I love this paper. There's also the Irresistible Blooms stamp set that I used for the thank you, and then for these leaves inside, and then I used the dies, the Irresistible Blooms dies, to cut out these leaves, and this from the designer series paper. So this paper is really cool because the dies will cut out some of the leaves and then some of the flowers. So you see, I just die cut it, and it's a 6x6, so it fits into your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine very nicely. And then I use the I love these, the blooming pearls. This was my ordering special for last month. They're just so pretty. So I use them around here. So look at this. This is called a double-decker Z-fold card. And I got this from my Upline's Upline, Patty Bennett. I don't know if she designed this card, but she certainly named it because we were on a team call with her and she was trying to get ideas for what to call it. So see, it is the Z-fold, but it's like a double-decker. So again, I don't know if she designed it, invented it, whatever you'd call it, but I got the idea from her, and I think it's really fun. So, of course, we're going to make it. I like to use different products to show you, different ideas. So we are using, this time, this paper is not retiring. I love this paper. This is the Nature Sweetness 12x12 designer series paper, and you can see all the different patterns in here. And I am using the Perennial Postage. I'm going to make a Happy Mother's Day card with this. So I already cut my pieces, and I'll show you exactly what I did. Let me get rid of this paper. It's falling. To get the pieces, I'll have all the measurements on a project sheet. If you look below the video, there's the description and there's links. There's a link to my online store, my blog post, to subscribe to my email list. And there's one called, it's usually the top one, project sheet. And that will have a PDF that you can print out if you want. And it has the measurements, the instructions, and some pictures. So you don't have to worry about writing everything down while we're making the card. So I've already cut the pieces. We have to do some scoring. And this, the way I did this is actually half. So if you look at your 8.5 by 11, I cut it at 4 1/4. So I cut it straight down, and then I cut it at 5 1/2. So I made it kind of equal on 4. So this is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and this is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. This we're going to just put our designer series paper on, and that becomes this back layer. Okay, so that we're going to put aside. This one we want to make the Z-fold part. So you'll see this. So this is actually pretty peacock, and there's the Z-fold. I don't know if you could see it, but it doesn't cover the whole front. It's just this, and you'll see as we put it together. So let me get my scoring tool, my trimmer. And we are going to score this. We make sure our dark blade is up. That's our cutting tool. And we want to put it at the 5 1/2 across the top. And we are going to score this at 1 1/4. So we'll go out to 1 1/4. And just, I like to go up and down a couple of times. And then 2 1/2. Okay. And let's put this away. We're done with that. And I'm going to get my bone folder. And we are going to score this. So we're going to score it like this, and then we're going to push this one this way. And that will give us our Z-fold piece. Okay, so you can look, see? And this is going to sit on top of this, and we're going to just decorate it. So let's get our pieces together. We're going to start putting this together by gluing it down or using whatever adhesive you want. So this is just 4 by 5 1/4, your standard layer. That's just a little bit smaller than your card base. And I love this piece. I think the white kind of pops off of it, so I wanted to coordinate with this piece. That's why I picked this layer. And what's nice about the papers is they usually have a couple of pieces that just really go together so nicely with the colors. And then I even put it on the inside, which you don't have to do. And I thought, you know, I'm left-handed, and I thought, well, how am I going to write in here? But if you really gently push it all away, and then this will fold back, and then you can write. I mean, with a right-handed person, it doesn't make a difference. But some of these cards, it's like, well, do I need to write it before I put it down? But this one, you know, it will work. So just as a little tip if you're left-handed. So this is down, this is folded. And then we are going to, oh, I don't have my piece of white. Let me get my piece of white. Okay, I have my white. So this is 4 1/4 by 4 1/4, and this is 4 by 4. And it's just going to sit here, and sit here, and sit here. All right? So this is my inside piece. Before we put this together, I would do my stamping and my inside piece. And you don't have to put this layer on. You can just put a white layer on. I just thought it might give it a nice little... and especially since it's white. But see, you could have just had this white piece here and not had this. And if I were to do that, I would make this white piece the size of this background piece, a little bit bigger. And I'll have the measurements in my project sheet. So let's see, do we want to stamp on this? This is Happiest Mother's Day, and I thought I would put You're Simply Marvelous. So I have that mounted, and I am going to do it. This color in here is Pebbled Path. So I thought I would do it in Pebbled Path, and we might as well do the Happy Mother's Day. So this tag, I know I'm all over the place here. This tag is from the Something Fancy dies, and I do believe this is carrying over. And this just has some really great dies that, different shapes, but that nest. So there's these two that nest, there's these two, and then this one has 3 of them. Let me just pull it up. So this one has 3 that nest together. And then these are really cool. So if you wanted to have a fancy top, you can lay this right in here. I'm going to put a bow on it, but if you put this on here, you're going to cut out these leaves, or this flower, or there's just a kind of a hole. So those are the dies I used, and these are great dies to have. And I have my Happy Mother's Day. Let me see if we can do a little, I like to stamp first on piece of scrap. We'll do Happy Mother's Day, make sure that looks good. And then we'll do it on here. Happy Mother's Day, right like that. Nice. And then we can do the, I love all of these. I mean, this is from my mom, You Mean the World to Me. And then You're Simply Marvelous, Your Love Beyond Measure. I think these are great for Mother's Day. And I wanted something that would fit this small little piece. And I don't think, I'm trying to think whether I want to put anything else here. You're Simply Marvelous. I could stamp something on this, but I think I'm just going to leave it. I think that it's small enough. I don't want to have too much there. And then let's put our pieces together. So let's put this inside piece right in there. And isn't this pretty? So this is gold foiled. And some of these, like this, has a die that cuts it out if you were to use the set that comes with it, which is retiring. That is the Notes of Nature stamps that goes with it, and then there's dies that go with it, and I believe that is retiring. So we have this, and then we're going to put this down. Someone told me to just put 4 dots instead of using my tape stamp and seal, and I thought, well, let's give that a try. I forget who commented to do that. I'll have to find the name, but thank you, because I like it. Whoops. Because I do like the liquid glue to give you that minute to move it, to get it in the right place. But I didn't like seeing the lines through it. So these 4 little dots work perfectly. So we've got that done. And then we can use this one and put this down. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, my inside white layer, sometimes I could see the lines of glue. It didn't seem to matter like on designer series paper, pattern paper, but the white just seemed to sometimes show the ridge of the glue. So I would always use my stamp and seal on the inside, but I like this idea. So now we have our pieces together. And now we have to put the card together. So you can either put this down first and have it just kind of even. And what Patty Bennett did was she put this on first. And we're only putting glue here. So let's do it that way. I don't know which way is better. I think both ways would work out good. It's just with this, you want to make sure you know what your pattern's going to look like, and then we're going to flip it over and we're going to line this up top to bottom, and we want it to be centered so there's the same amount of space on each side. And this is what I mean about the liquid glue. It gives you that little bit of time to make sure it's all lined up. There's nothing sticking up in the top or the bottom. So now you've got this Z-fold. Now we want to put the glue on the back. And this is nice, strong glue. So I like that I know it's going to hold. And then we'll put this down. Again, you want it to be top to bottom, and you want it to be equal on both sides. I'm going to look on the back of it to make sure there's nothing hanging out. Okay? Isn't that pretty? I love it. I love this design, as I said. And I'm trying to think. I think I'm going to put this down flat. I did put this down flat. I didn't use any dimensionals on this because I feel like this card is bulky enough. And then I'm going to put a bow on top of this, so that will even make it more bulky. So I'm going to put this on with some liquid glue. And I'm going to put it on as a kind of an angle. And then I have this beautiful, I love the pebble path. I think it's so pretty. So this is the ribbon. This, I believe, is retiring. I'm still trying to learn everything that's retiring. And usually our ribbons do. I was so surprised to see some of our designer series paper is carrying over. They don't usually do that. So the Countryside Inn is carrying over, and then this is carrying over. Is that too big? Let me make it a little bit smaller. So I do it on I don't cut my ribbon until I make the bow, because I don't know how big it's going to be. And I always have stuff to cut off, but that's okay. So we'll just cut off here. And then we'll cut off here. So pretty. This would be a nice wedding card as well. So let's get a glue dot. And we're just going to put that right back there and press this down. And I'm wondering if I should put some, I have these out. I don't know that it needs anything else. So these are the Pebbled Path little, let's put a couple on. I'm going to put, there's 3 sizes. I'm going to just put the little one. We'll put one down here. Oops. I went off the, did I go off it? No. And here, sometimes I go off this clear sheet and then I have a problem moving it. And we're going to put that there. Okay. And let's move these aside, and that's our card. So easy. Double-decker Z-fold. So it's nice because it does stand up. So those are always nice to have out, and when it's standing up, you're seeing it like this. Isn't that pretty? So thanks for joining me, and next week we're going to do the Joy Fun Fold card, and I think that's a pretty basic one, which I didn't know that was the name of it, but you'll see it next week. Thanks for joining me. I do have catalogs, and I'm sending them to those who have purchased from me in the past year, and if you want one, I sent an email to everyone who purchased from me, and if you didn't respond, you know, let me know if you want one and I'll send it to you. If you haven't purchased from me, I can still send you a catalog, but I'll charge you $10, but I'll give you a $10 coupon for an order in the next couple of months. So you can email me if you want to discuss that further, Patty@pspapercrafts.com, and I will see you next week. Have a good week. Bye.